So by now you should have received your version of Bookkeeperxl, because the link to this video is on the email that you got. So the first thing is, I want you to know that I have 600 entries on this particular session. I wanted you to see how some things look filled out and give you a heads up on a couple of things that have changed since some of these training videos that you have in the video training links page of the Bookkeeperxl. So let's get into it. At the bottom here of the video training link, you'll see that there are 24 projects that you can allocate to in release 4.0 and above. So the video on this part of the training only shows 12 projects. So just know that there are 12 more. There's a total of 24. And I did not protect those tabs. The reason being, and I believe I covered this in the training video, that let's say you've got five projects you're allocating to, and you don't want to see projects 6 through 24. I've left it open so I could show you how to hide the columns that you don't need. So you hide the columns that you don't need, and you would have 5 projects plus leave the total column, and you wouldn't have to scroll all the way over to see the total. So just remember, do not enter any data, none, in the project tabs. It's unnecessary. All of those numbers come from entries you've made during the month 1 through 12 entries. Okay, so don't touch it. If you want to go ahead and protect those pages, and you know how to do that after you've closed the columns that you don't want, go ahead and do that. So let's keep going here. The equity split, you're going to see here, if you look at the top months, that there are entries here where member 1 and member 2 made equity contributions that were keyed to them. So that you'll see in one of the training videos as well. Financial statements, this is what it looks like. You could see up here, everything says balanced, so that you know all 12 months are good, and you have your year to date and financials. The income statement as well is all balanced, and you have your for the year to date income statement. Okay, so those are the financial statements. Chart of accounts we've gone through. You can change everything, all the account names. Do it up front. Or if you change one in the middle of the year, make sure it's one that you never made an entry to, because you'll lose that data. So all of these except for the cash and the owner equity you can change. Again, we have 24 projects and up to 4 members. Those are in your training as well. Like I said, one of the training videos only had 12 projects at that particular release. I've added 12 more. Financial summary, this is what it looks like filled out. And down here on this goes for every tab. If you want to increase the size to see things a little closer, you can do it this way. All right, down here in the lower right, if you want to send it back again, that's the way you do it. Customer vendor list, I didn't fill anything out. You'll have to look at the training video on some of that. Now this is what month 1 looks like filled out. You'll notice that everything was assigned a project. At the bottom, not only was this assigned a project, but it was a cash contribution from member 2. The only time you use the equity codes is if the account name is going to owner equity. Okay, Now you could see here you can also assign it to a project, so you could do that on one line, and that's the beauty of having these codes split up. But just remember, the only owner equity member code will only go in there when you have owner equity. That way you'll keep your, even though I said in a prior video, the project numbers can actually become financial statements within the project, okay? So let's go to General Journal number 1. Again, we have the same thing, an owner capital contribution on the bottom, and it can be keyed to both the project and the member. So, and this is what it looks like when it's all filled out. Now, while we're on this, I want to show you that now we have on the cleared bank, we have to put the date in because of, we went back and made sure that if you have something outstanding for several months, that the reconciliation can accommodate that. And in order to make sure that everything that hasn't cleared in prior months keeps showing up, we want you to put the actual cleared date in. Now, you might think this is cumbersome because your reconciliation is at the end of the tabs here. Let me just go show you. It's beyond all the projects and year to date. So this is the bank rec, but look, when you're reconciling, let's say you're reconciling month 1 or 2, you can right click and hide all the columns you don't need, okay? And then unhide if you need to go back. So you can go back and unhide the ones that, now you want to see them. But go ahead and hide what you don't need when you're doing the bank rec. Or in fact, you can hide whatever you don't need when you're making entries. And then go back and unhide it when you need it. So again, you right click, and whether you're going to hide or unhide, you could see that right here, okay? So that's my recommendation when you're doing the bank recs. So we went to month 1, I showed you that, in General Journal month 1, where you can see the entries, and you can see on both of them where we put in the dates of anything that cleared. Here you'll see that this doesn't have a date in it because it didn't clear. So that's one thing too. And if you have to fill out the date on anything, particularly on anything that's cash, in order to show up on the bank reconciliation. It's all keyed off of dates. So don't forget to fill out the date. In fact, I haven't tested this, but I'm positive that it'll work. So let's say you're somebody that says, it's a pain in the neck filling out dates. You could literally put one date in, copy it all the way down to whatever you've got filled in. So at least a date would show up, and if it cleared, then you just put the cleared date in here. So not a good idea to make everything the same date, but that's up to you. Also, the date can literally be out of order. That's fine. So for now anyway, you don't want to reorganize dates in here. If you miss something and you have to put the date in, just like, let's say the actual date was January 10th and you're at January 15th, it's okay. Just put January 10th below that. It's fine. You don't want to mess around right now with reorganizing the dates because it has an impact of the entire row. Okay. But the date is essential. You want to always have a date in there. Your vendors and payers, we didn't put anything in on the tests, but as much as you can, put the vendor payer in at the beginning or when you first start using them. and you'll automatically get, as I showed you in one of the training videos, you automatically get the drop-down box with their name, which makes it easier. When you start typing their name in, it will pop up. That's the same with any of the projects. When you change a project name, you could have it like 123 Main Street. You start typing it in, it'll pop up before you even finished. Same with the equity codes if you put a member's name in. And those are covered in other videos, okay? So what I really want to get to now is, you can see here, I'll just show you project financials. If there was anything coded to any particular project, you'll see numbers here in the cash as a result of entries. These negative cash balances either didn't have enough cash entered in them or nothing at all. So just know you don't have to use the projects. They don't have to balance if you do use them, but if you do want them to balance, code everything. And the big one is coding the cash that you set up to a particular project. One other thing is that, let's say you have 10 projects, but you have some general expenses like administrative expenses that you don't allocate to any particular project. Project 1 could really be your admin expenses, however you want to identify that. And then the projects could be addresses, it could be whatever you're doing, whatever your business is, okay? So let's go to the bank reconciliation. I want to show you a few things. And here, I debated about this, but there are massive numbers of possibilities as a result of, some people don't do their bank recs every month. I've seen people who amazingly wait till the end of the year. They try to do it all at once at the end of the year and not month by month, so which makes it really difficult. But as a result of knowing that, these down here, like the outstanding checks, have a significant number of possible entries to it, okay? So you could see to deposits in transit, outstanding checks. So what I've done here is made sure that those outstanding checks show up here, or outstanding, deposits not booked, or deposits booked but not showing up on the bank statement. All of that has a spot here. And because there's so many rows, what I did is to summarize, for example, in this test, you'll see one item here, which is deposits in transit. Outstanding checks, you have 6 items here. If you go here, a quick reference, outstanding checks or cash out prior months is line 1704. Here's the dollar amount. Excuse me, there's 4 items. Outstanding checks, checked out, current month, here's the total is line 1860. There's the amount 1598. 2 items. Those are the 6 items that you'll see here for outstanding checks or cash out. Same with deposits in transit, prior months, current months, totals, and it shows you that the line items here are line 3551, line 3707, line 3709, and you'll see here 1 item, and this is it here. It is in transit current month, and your total in transit is that current month 1 item right here. All right, so that's some heads up information and kind of up to date on a few tweaks I've made. Remember, read this explaining the system tab, which, quite frankly, becomes probably, if you look at all the training videos, you'll get the fill-in for this. Okay, so just read it. You'll see down in the bottom you will have on your sheet the purchase order number and your email under the product disclaimer, and that is a watermark stamp that shows that it is your version, your particular Bookkeeperxl version, and it is keyed to you specifically. If you try to forward it to somebody or give someone a copy, you cannot erase that. We know where it came from, and in fact, don't be surprised if yours goes blank as a result of trying to pass it on. You can, and I encourage you to do this, you make a template copy. So if you say, this copy you just got is your master copy or your template, anytime you're starting to work on a new customer, a new company, you should save it under that before you even get started, so that you've always saved the template. If you're going to start entering for someone or a business specifically, hit the file, save as, and then name the company, and then that way you do not contaminate your template. So I hope this helps. This is under 20 minutes, and hope it's been worth you listening to. And good luck with everything. Any questions, you can go to customer service at bookkeeperxl.com, and we will get the email and respond to you as soon as possible. Thank you all. Good luck. I hope you enjoy the system. And I'm, of course, open to any suggestions on enhancing the system, which at this point can take me a while to do. But thank you very much. Thank you for your purchase. One postscript to this: if you get a copy of your version and you see at the top that you have the whole ribbon showing, there's a little arrow on the right side here. If you click it and it says full screen mode, you can down below hit show tabs only, and that'll disappear. You'll see the tabs at the bottom. Okay, so some of these may have gone out with the entire ribbon showing. So just for visual ease, if you want to close that ribbon out, that's the way you do it. And I apologize if you got one with those open. So thank you very much again, folks. And any questions, again, please send them to customer service at bookkeeperxl.com. Hopefully I'll have another version out shortly, and I will let you know. Have a great day.